So hello and welcome back guys. So guys, in today's video I will tell you about numbers. Well, just the number class, and in next video it will be about the math class. So let's begin our number class thing real quick. So first of all we will declare a variable n with this value, and then we have another variable n1 with infinity value. Well, you know infinite, the infinity thing, I hope you do. And then, well, first of all I will tell you about the constants. Well, it is like some constant values. First of all we have the safe integer, minimum safe integer value. It is like the maximum value integer can safely have, and minimum value integer can safely have, and the maximum absolute maximum value, and the minimum value. And then we have negative infinity and positive infinity. Well, you can use it for comparing. For example, if we want to check n1 is equals to infinity and stuff like that. Well, just for showing you guys, I will just log all of these things. Wait a second, node space number, and you can see all of these constants are right here. And the nan constant, well, nan refers to not a number, so it is anything which is not a number. All right, now let me just comment all of this. Now let's go to functions. Well, we are going to talk about 6 functions. First, well, these functions are class based. Well, we can access these 4 functions using number.to, but they are available without that. So I'm just going to show you like this. So parse int and parse float function is just for getting an integer value or a float value out of a string. Well, let me show you. First of all, if we do something like this, and a same thing but for float, parse float, and just for surety let's do this. Alright, so if I log this now, you can see it returns us this and this. This means it just gave us the integer value out of the string instead of a float value. And for example, if we provide something with a floating decimal value, it will be converted to an integer, and vice versa in a float. Well, you can see it works. So this is all about the float and parse int thing. Now let's move on to our is finite and is not a number thing. Well, let me just add a console.log is finite. So if we do is finite n1 and is not a number for something like this. So is finite number just checks if the provided value is infinity or not. Well, it's just check if provided value is not infinity. Well, I'm providing a infinity value, so it should return false. And is not a number checks whether a thing is not a number or not. It will return true because we are providing a string, not a number. Let's go. So you can see it is false for both. And now let's move on to these function. If a number is an integer, so it is very simple. If we just provide something like 2.2, it will return false because it is not an integer, it is a floating decimal number. So we can just do remove that thing after decimal, and of course the decimal 2, and it will return true. Pretty simple too. Now let's see is safe integer. It will check whether this number is safe as an integer or not. Well, let me just show you. Well, you know, if they cross the maximum safe integer limit or the minimum safe integer limit, then they are not safe. Well, now it says false because we crossed the limit. Well, this is it. Now let's move on to functions of an instance. Like these functions can be only accessed to the variable, like these variables with number value. Alright. Now let me just show you something. Well, I mean, let me just show you how these things work. So the two exponential function just gives us the exponential form of the provided thing. Well, let's start by giving it a good number, probably something like 123. So if I do node number, it returns 1.23 e plus 2. So what it means is, if you this is the exponential form. So exponential forms are like the that it only have a single number digit after, well, before the one, before the dot, sorry, my bad. And e plus 2 refers to that the value before e should be multiplied by 10 raised to power the value after e. For example, if you multiply, well, let me console.log that thing. If you multiply 1.23 by, wait a sec, math.pow 10 raised to power plus 2. Well, the math.pow function is just like doing, well, this thing is equivalent to 10 raised to power plus 2 or just 2. Alright, so now let me log it and you can see it is 123. So that's how exponential thing works. Now let me comment it, and here comes the to fix thing. Well, let me just do log bam, and let me add some decimal value so that you guys can understand this. So the to fix thing just returns us the value, well, what should I say, it just returns us the limited amount of numbers after the decimal. That's it about that. To precision, it is just for getting a limited or a fixed amount of significant values. So if you don't know what are significant values, it is like the values which have a real meaning. For example, if we have something like this, how many significant values this thing have? Just one. And whereas, well, like this thing also have one significant value, but if I add one here, well, any non-zero digit at first, then it have 1 2 3 4 5 6 significant digits. Well, it is like, you know what I'm saying. If you don't know much about significant value, I'm not really gonna explain it, but I will provide you some links where you can read about it. So if I just log that now, let me log that thing, log bam. So you can see it returns us still six significant digits. For example, if I add, let me do this 0000 here, well, the JavaScript do not let us do that. Well, we can help that. It works, you know what I'm saying. Well, let me just change this value to 10. Now it returns us more values and it even added the zeros. Alright, now let's move on to the string thing. Well, the toString function is pretty simple. It just converts a number to string. And now we can do all sorts of things to this number like we can do to a string. So this is it about our number video, and I guess thanks a lot for watching, and in next video I'm gonna tell you about math, and this math class have way too many shit in it. So peace out till then, bye.